Fields of Mistria's third and potentially last major update dropped on the 21st of this month, and I have been playing nonstop since. Well, as nonstop as you can when you do have a full-time job. In any case, I've put in countless hours in the game in the past week, probably more than is healthy, but hey, we can't all be perfect. So I thought I'd take you along for the ride. We're in this together, whether you like it or not. But before we can go any further, there will be spoilers for the third major update, all of it really. So proceed with caution if you don't want to be spoiled. You have been warned. Anyway, before the update arrived, I thought maybe I had some prep work to do, so I'm calling this Day 0. For this update, I really didn't do much prep at all. I played through the second major update and pretty much finished everything within a day. Granted, I was conveniently sick from work the day it came out, so I had lots of time to play through on release. So suffice to say, I zoomed through all the content and then I haven't played much since. I think I might have over-prepped for that last update if I'm being honest. In my current save, I am in year 4 and rank gold at level 81. I could try and get to the max level of 90, but I don't really think it will be worth my time, especially as I quickly realized I completed more than I thought. All my skills are max level, I'm basically max hearts with everyone, I completed all my quests, I have all the items that I can donate to the museum safely secured, I could gather supplies if I wanted, but I do have a decent amount of things already stockpiled from that last update. And I really don't want to prepare just for the sake of it. I think that's what quote-unquote burned me out before. I wouldn't say it was a full-on burnout. It was more of like a baby burnout. So I just started to move my animals over to that farm expansion before I lost all sense of time and the day was already almost done. With Day 0 over with, it's time to finally welcome Day 1, the start to the new content. For reference, I've had my eye on some of the major update news. Like, I know greenhouses, 8-heart events, romance, new merchants, and larger chests will be added. But I haven't meticulously been keeping track of what's all been promised for this update, so I'm excited to see what's in store, and I hope you are as well. And okay, I've just got to say, working from home has a lot of perks, but one of them definitely was being able to download the update and then start playing straight away during my lunch break. I had thought I had set myself up in a good position to start my day during the Saturday market. But when I booted up my save, nothing jumped out at me right away. No mail, no new quests. Needless to say, panic did set in, but I did notice the new chest actions to combine stacks and sort. I'm very happy this has been implemented, and I am itching to get my hands on those upgraded chests. I also noticed some new recipes available at Baylor's Cart, Mary's Stall, and the Inn. You know I snatched them all up immediately, but it doesn't look like any new vendors have been added so far, and so I spent the rest of my first day giving every single person a gift. The new cap is 8 hearts, so I've got to put some more work into schmoozing the town. Hopefully they like me, fingers crossed. Well, I guess they don't really have much choice in interacting with me, so scratch that. Hopefully they tolerate me. Anyway, on Day 2, I was tricked. I was conned. I thought Celine coming to talk to me about the Spring Festival was the start of a new quest line. But no, it was just to remind me about the upcoming festival. But ooh, look, I do have some new mail, and oh, it's a quest for more vendors at the Saturday market. I definitely wish my first day wasn't a Saturday, but hey, I'm not perfect. There are still no smaller requests on that quest board, but it does look like the rank is now capped at level 95 and skills can be leveled up as well all the way to 60. Before starting on the new quest, I made sure to give Island a gift. I think I'm going to romance him. I recently watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and he does kind of give me those vibes, so I'm sold. Sorry, Hayden and March, my other two top contenders, but the heart wants what the heart wants. I also gave Adeline a gift before checking out what exactly I'll need to bring those new vendors into town. The two new merchants must be fancy because the supplies I need to collect to bring them on over to Mistria is a bit much, if you ask me. They should just be happy with plain old stone and wood. But luckily, even without specifically prepping, I had almost all of what I needed. All I had to do was craft 25 more refined stones, 7 more gold bars, and then I do need to hunt down 15 more obsidians, which actually isn't the worst thing ever because we haven't needed obsidians before, so I probably wouldn't have had a huge stockpile of them anyway. Since the Spring Festival is right around the corner, having a reason to visit the mines will be a good way to collect some of those spring flowers. But before I plunged down into the mines, I did redeem 2 new perks for combat. And okay, I'll need to revisit all the mine levels because it does look like some new monsters have entered the chat. The little fire guy reminds me of Calcifer, and oh my god, there's a cat! I don't want to kill it, it's just way too cute. I want to tame it and take it home with me, please. But I guess in good news, it did drop a hat, and I guess that fire dude did drop one as well, I just hadn't noticed right away. I definitely need an outfit change immediately. Wow, okay, that was such a successful day. I made good progress on the market quests and slayed some new monsters. And I only need 6 more obsidians. So straight to the mines I went on day 3. I toiled away painfully all day long, but was thankfully able to get the last of the obsidians I needed. I then wasted no time turning in the market quest to Adeline, and now I will have to pay for my choice of picking my save up on a Saturday. Not to mention, the new festival is in fall, so I'll have to wait over a month just to attend that. Maybe I shouldn't have been so comfortable doing absolutely no prep or minimal prep because, to be fair, I did check on my save. But I certainly will pay the price for my decision, and I'm not saying it's a bad price per se, having to play more of the game, but it still is a price, okay? The next day, I woke up to another quest, a quest to upgrade the carpenter's shop. It was also March's birthday, so you best believe I will be getting those extra birthday gift friendship points. But before getting into any of that, I redeemed the new level 45 perks that were available to me, and I can now craft a giant essence stone, which I think is kind of funny because I did see posts prior to this update stating that the essence stone didn't last a full season, and some people speculated that it could be a glitch of some sort, but it's clear that's certainly not the case with this giant essence stone. But right now for me, I have so many miscellaneous essence stones that I won't be needing a giant one right away, but I do yearn for the giant regardless. It's just in my blood at this point. I stopped by and gave Island, March, and Calderus a gift before jump-starting the Carpenter's upgrade. Looks like the upgrade will unlock a house upgrade, which does have a second story and greenhouses. I have to say, personally, my house is far too big for my liking already. But I don't know how big of a house I'll need for marriage eventually, so I guess I'll upgrade regardless. But I would prefer to still have the starter home house size. Oh no, this upgrade also requires obsidian. Luckily, I did notice that you can actually craft more obsidian at the mines, so I won't need to spend countless days down in the mines trying to build up a supply. I really do like that you can put some extra stones to good use. Although, with all these new requirements, it might be hard to have so many extra stones like I once did. But all in all, I did craft 100 refined stones and 30 obsidians. With my existing supplies, I was just 50 glass short, so I just forked over the money for those 50 more glass at the carpenters. So it was already time to turn in the quest. I got a free greenhouse blueprint, so I scurried back to my farm to place it down. And it is quite small inside. I mean, it is the small greenhouse after all, it's in the name, but I don't think I'll fill this one up since it is so small. I realized I forgot to look at the house upgrade, so back to the carpenters I went, and oof, okay, that's a lot of materials. But I quickly forged 13 more gold bars and then started on my hardwood hunt to end the night. I do really like getting the free mana potions for hitting early access limits, but it looks like I'm already done with the quests for this update, but I knew going into it, it was more friendship-based, so I'm not surprised. To celebrate, actually, I crushed the competition at the Spring Festival and then took the time to give everyone a gift, since they were all conveniently in one place for once besides Friday nights. After which, I was on the hunt for more hardwood. I did end up collecting enough, so now I just need to focus on getting a bit more gold. On my way into town, I did check Baylor's cart and he was conveniently selling gold bars, so I just bought the rest of the gold bars I needed. I then hit up the mines to craft more refined stone, and it's suddenly not costing any time for me like it had the days prior. Now that I think about it, I actually don't think I read the descriptions of those level 45 perks I unlocked, so maybe that has something to do with it, or it's a bug, or it's a me problem. It could be any of those things. On my way to the carpenters, I gave Island a cake. I was surprised to see that I could go ahead and already buy that large greenhouse blueprint, but before I worried too much about it, I did go ahead and upgrade my house, which now I can access that second story with a set of stairs. Okay, wow, I was not expecting this much extra space. I was thinking maybe one more room. Quite frankly, I don't even know what to do with it quite yet. I mean, it took long enough for me to decorate my entire first floor. In the meantime, I had gone ahead and bought the large greenhouse blueprint, so I built that real quick. And I did leave it empty to go into town and do a round of charitable gift giving. I mean, I already gave so much of my supplies and money away. What's a few gifts on top of that? To kick off the 7th, I did revisit the lower levels of the mines, but I don't think there's any new monsters down there. And oh, I realized I had been playing on 3x Zoom this entire time. I think I had gotten used to it, but I did go ahead and shift it to the 2x Zoom so I could see more of the world around me. Since it was Friday night at the inn, I went ahead and gave every single person a gift. So far, everyone still has 6 hearts with me. No 7s or 8s have made an appearance, but we've got time. And the next Saturday market arrived quicker than I thought. It's time to get to business. I filled my inventory with gifts and quickly ran out of space, so I will have to make another trip back if I don't want anyone to leave my presents empty-handed. I was talking up the town, and at first, I thought maybe I had misread something because the new vendors were nowhere in sight. But luckily, I did eventually make my way to the manor where Weedle and Talifero were waiting. Island must have felt the excitement because we hit 7 hearts. Okay, so it looks like Talifero hosts a weekly cooking competition, and Weedle sells some higher grade items like large chests, a teleporting object, sword enhancers, fries, and some cosmetics. I did go ahead and buy all those cosmetics, of course, and I'm quickly losing my money. On my way back to pick up more gifts for everyone, I cooked up a rice ball and turned it into Talifero. Looks like his competition and those quests are kind of repackaged quests that you can pick up at the board, but more specific to obviously cooking. I made sure not to forget to make the long walk to the deep woods since Calderus doesn't go into civilization and was able to reach 7 hearts with him as well. And then I started the painstaking task of swapping out my smaller chests for some larger ones. I would say normally people pay a lot of money in real life for such a thing, but I did spend a pretty penny on my chests as well. I even went back to Weedle and bought more, so I'm really broke now. The 9th was a new day, but it was also a new day in real life, so I had seen a bit of chatter about the new update and wanted to focus on getting my archaeology skill to level 60. I guess I hadn't realized at first that a new artifact set was added to the museum. So I started off the day giving out a few gifts, and more villagers are following in Island and Calderus's footsteps by reaching 8 hearts with me. For the first time ever, I gave Calderus a mini Calderus artifact, and I just think it's so cute that it's a loved gift for him. Speaking of gifts, I then headed back home and finished changing out my chests. I'll need some more, but I finally decided to bite the bullet and dedicate a chest completely to gifts so that the whole gift process will be easier on me since I will be giving lots and lots of them for this update. And then I put those gifts that were in the gift chest to good use and reached 7 hearts with even more villagers. Another day, another similar routine. I packed up all the gifts and then headed out to give said gifts. Only 2 villagers lag behind, stuck at 6 hearts, while everyone else, excluding those merchants, have 7. Then I set my sights on doing some artifact hunting, so I did a loop over the overworld before heading down into the mines. I accidentally watered one of the cats, and look, it turned the cat to stone. I did try to do that to the calcifer-looking guy, but my watering can was no match. Similar to the day before, the 12th day started out with a round of gift giving before I turned my attention towards leveling up my archaeology skill. I didn't spend much time looking for artifacts because I finally decided to make use of my greenhouse. I had to craft 3 more sprinklers. May I say, I've done so much crafting of materials this update so far. And then I paid a visit to my seed chest and went with crops that would regrow. Please don't mind the haphazard way the crops are planted. I sincerely thought I would have enough snow peas. I was wrong, and trust me, I did pay the visual price for that, but I'm sorry you do have to pay that price as well. Since it was Calderus's birthday, I thought, hey, why not just give everyone a gift? It's basically everyone's birthday. So I gathered up a gift for everyone, and I really did think I would hit 8 hearts with Calderus because of his birthday, but apparently I was wrong. Rude, just plain rude. Anyway, it was a good thing I went and checked my greenhouse because my crops didn't get watered. So I went ahead and did that manually before heading on over to the mines for some more artifact hunting. And woo! Finally! I did get a spring horse. I don't ever want to see another gold foal again. Anyway, I checked back on my greenhouse, and I guess I have to walk inside for it to activate, which I realize is probably the same for the barn. So I have unknowingly been letting my animals go days unpet. And to be fair, if that was mentioned in the last update when I unlocked the sprinklers and auto petters, I don't think I read through the tutorial very hard or very well. But that's on me. But I do kind of feel like that defeats the purpose of the automation. If I have to enter the greenhouse for those sprinklers to work, I save some time, but I still have to go out of my way to check. Still thinking I'd be able to get 8 hearts with Calderus or Island, I gave them both a gift, but was sorely disappointed that we remained at 7 hearts. And then, not wanting to deviate from routine too much, I did an artifact run before descending into the lava levels. I did leave early though, so I could give the rest of the villagers a gift at the inn since they'd all be conveniently in the same spot. Prime gifting time. This time though, I received a few gifts myself. Some cookies and a new painting, so I didn't have to leave the inn empty-handed like usual. On the 15th, I checked out the collections in the menu and spotted something interesting. Date inspiration. I'm so excited and curious to see how that would work. If it was up to me, I'd already be dating Island, so I'll blame him for me remaining in the dark about that. And I'm so close to reaching 8 hearts with Island. Just give it like one more day. After giving my man a gift, everyone else got one as well. But I had saved the best for first, of course. I then hit up Weedle for some more chests and splurged on one of those sword potions because quite frankly, I'm curious to see what it does. Talifero had a competition for crystalberry pie, but I don't seem to have the recipe handy. So I'll just have to chuck a crystalberry in the shipping bin. And woo! I was not expecting to hit 8 hearts with Calderus, but that's exactly what happened. His birthday seemed to put him ahead of everyone else. To celebrate, I gathered my very large supply of shiny beads and headed on over to the chicken statue. I do think this is something I didn't explore with the last update because I did get a lot of pet cosmetics. I almost always forget to redeem these shiny beads. And oh guys, it's happening! Calderus wants to meet with me! And I was right, I hadn't shipped a crystal berry, so I got that crystal berry pie recipe in the morning. Always sell one of everything. I know that, you probably know that. I don't know what I was thinking, but at least I still have the cooking competition quest, so it looks like it doesn't expire. But my game expired and crashed right here. So I repeated the morning, but this time I did make the effort to give everyone a gift, saving Island for last. My heart will have to wait another day, I guess, but it won't be waiting for Calderus because it's time. And I have to admit, Calderus is so cute. He does get a lot of hype, and like I said, he's cute. But, okay, please don't roast me for this, but I was never his #1 fan. Now, don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. I am a fan in general, but like there's Island and March. But I did learn you can date multiple people and only marry one of them, so I think I'll just collect them all. I mean, date them all. And I have to admit, I think that was the right decision. He called me his mate. His mate. How could I not want to marry the man after that? I mean, I grew up on Wattpad. I specifically grew up on One Direction fanfiction and, more importantly, werewolf stories, so I know a thing or two about mates. And so I can't help but feel a spiritual connection with Calderus. I was not expecting that. Anyway, to cool off after that heated moment with Calderus, I once again looked for artifacts. Elsie found out about my supernatural connection with Calderus and confirmed my suspicions in clear writing. Many boyfriends, but only one husband can reign supreme. You can ask out your boyfriends or girlfriends on Saturdays and Sundays, which, okay, how respectable of the 5-day work week, especially for Calderus, who does not, in fact, work. Don't worry, I can provide for him. Anyway, I planted new crops for the new season, which pretty much took all day, but there's always time for Island. And my heart stopped. Island, this is where my other boyfriend lives. He might catch us here, but regardless, my second boyfriend was secured. I do think in my excitement for Calderus, I forgot to mention Island and I did reach 8 hearts. Oops, but obviously we have 8 hearts or else we wouldn't be dating. After 2 momentous days, things did go ahead and slow down on the 18th as I continued to give everyone gifts And now I'm starting to slowly reach 8 hearts with everyone. I used the ice potion on my sword in the mines, and I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of underwhelmed. I mean, it deals more damage, I think, but it doesn't do anything special to the fire monster, which I was kind of hoping it would do since it's ice against fire. But again, the next day, I hit 8 hearts with even more villagers, and I was surprised to see a request on the board. So I snatched that up quickly and turned it in record time. Look how cute me and my boyfriend are in bed. You're looking in on us, and suddenly I kind of feel like I'm on the Big Brother live feeds. Now, pay attention to my cat just watching me from the stairs. Wait, now I do really feel like I'm being watched. Anyway, I hit level 60 in farming and unlocked the magic seed perk, where you get the possibility of finding a magic seed when you harvest crops. I wonder if it's kind of like an ancient seed in Stardew. It would make sense because of the greenhouse, but it doesn't exactly say what's so magical about a puny little seed. I once again continued to hit 8 hearts with even more villagers. I went into the inn to continue my gift-giving efforts, but I triggered 8 heart Reina cutscene. She's such a great human being. I was thinking I wouldn't have a loved gift to give Maple, but Island came in clutch and had gifted me one of her loved flowers. I hope he doesn't mind, but it's for the children, for a child. Think of the children, Island, think. Look at Calder's sparkle. So one of the people I did get 8 hearts with was indeed March. So Ulrich busted down my door because March had gone missing. Of course, I found him, and guys, he's so cute. I mean, look at him. Look at us. He fell asleep on me. I don't know how I can choose one person to marry. Luckily, I don't have to make that decision quite yet. And I think he was given almost the same backstory as Elsa without the royalty and all that, obviously. Anyway, I now have 3 boyfriends, and oh, that cutscene took all day. How immersive. It's the first Saturday since being a girlfriend, so you know what that means. It's time to go on a date. I was going to say hi to Henrietta to finally reach 8 hearts with her, but I triggered Hayden's 8 heart cutscene in the process. And now I have another one, another boyfriend. Hayden was the first man I set my eyes on in this game, but I feel like we've lost a bit of the connection we had at the beginning, so hopefully dating him will bring that spark back. His cutscene did seem shorter than the others so far, in my opinion. For a second, I thought I was like broke, but I accidentally thought my essence was how much money I had, so I panicked prematurely. But in other news, I was finally able to turn in the crystalberry pie and get my reward. And then I checked on Weedle's shop, and it looks like he sells the bathhouse inspiration for a very large sum of money. That's highway robbery, my sir. I still have my free bathhouse passes, so I think I'll use those instead. As it stands, Ulrich is the only one who stands in my way of having 8 hearts with all the villagers, besides merchants, of course, but I never counted them anyway. Having felt such a strong connection with Calderus, he was the first one I asked out on a date. We had a cute little picnic together, and yes, we did kiss. And I even have a photo to forever remember our date. On my way back from my date with Calderus, I triggered Reese's 8 heart cutscene. He's in a similar position to Hayden for me, but I haven't really given him much of a chance. And I do want to change that, so I acquired yet another boyfriend. This is a judgment-free zone, okay? I do kind of feel like I'm on Love Island, keeping my options open and letting myself be pulled into all these chats with all these guys. And okay, to be fair, Reese is so sweet. To rain on my good day, I had planted tea for my animals, but I guess they're picky and don't eat tea, so I guess no summer crops for them. So I didn't feel as guilty getting rid of some of them to plant some of my magic seeds. To start my 24th day of the update, I just had to ask March out on an in date. I know I had my eyes set on Island at first, but like I said earlier, the heart wants what the heart wants, and my heart is beating for March and Calderus right now. I just love those little photo cards. I might have to dedicate one of my upstairs room to just those photo cards. Anyway, I finally was able to reach level 60 in Archaeology, unlocking the new level 60 perk. This perk adds Mist Sight, where new artifacts can be found in mist around the town. In the meantime, I did go ahead and spend the rest of the day cooking, getting really close to hitting level 60 in the process, which I proceeded to actually hit the next day, unlocking the new fairy cooking perk, which I guess allows you to cook food that does have the ability to give you a revival buff. And then the rest of the day was spent in a lot of cutscenes, and I'm not even exaggerating. My first one was with Adeline. She actually gave me something useful, so I do love that. Next was Baylor, and I know I had said I had the intention of dating everyone, including Baylor, but I just wasn't feeling a connection, so he'll just remain my bestie. Then I met up with Celine, and I'm really starting to feel bad friend-zoning some of these people. During an intermission between cutscenes, I did find some mist and got my first new artifact. But then it was time to become best friends with both Valen and Juniper. After which, I reached level 60 in blacksmithing, but then I decided to try and raise my fishing level up. My first catch was a lovely shell, which let me unlock beach dates. And then I spent the next day fishing as well. I was still taking the time to give Ulrich a gift though, because I did run out of his loved gifts, so he was still lagging behind at 7 hearts. I found a new artifact in the mist and switched things up by hitting up the mines. This update has completely depleted me of both money and resources, so for once I need some more stone. And then I woke up to my first magic seed harvest, and so far they've given me some cute cosmetics. On the theme of finding new things, I got a new artifact from the mist, and then finally reached 8 hearts with Ulrich. Then I went to the beach to fish, and this is awkward, but 2 of my boyfriends were hanging out together. The next day, I found the dollhouse inspiration from an artifact spot on the eastern side of town, which unlocks a new date location. On top of that, I also found the rough gemstone inspiration, so now I just need that bathhouse inspiration from Weedle, and I'd have collected all the date inspirations and locations. To end the day, I continued my efforts to raise my fishing level and reached diamond rank at level 90. Ooh, there's another new request on the board and a new cooking challenge. I did end up working over the 100k for the soap inspiration, so now I can date in all the places, but not before I cooked up a fried earth shroom for the cooking challenge. And then it was time. It was time to go on a bathhouse date with Island. Things are getting steamy, quite literally. Of course, I finished out the day with some fishing, still not level 60 yet. Turns out the magic seeds can also give you syrups, which is quite nice. I also found a new artifact in the mist and got another new request on the board. I'm guessing you get more requests with the new diamond rank, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, I went on to a quaint park date with Hayden and finished the day off with even more fishing. And then I fished on the 32nd and 33rd. On the 34th, I'm pretty sure one of my pesky animals ate my magic seed, but then it was back to fishing where I reached level 54, so I still have 6 more levels to go. I found myself fishing yet again the next day, reaching level 55 while also reaching level 93 in rank. And I finally got a summer horse as well. Calderus was simply so cute and he gave me a gift. I had to visit him because I think I was getting seasickness, but then it was straight back to the ocean for me. Since it was Saturday, I picked up a new cooking challenge and begrudgingly gave Weedle even more of my money for more chests. On my way back, I found a cloud mist, collecting my last artifact in the set, so I was able to finish up the mist artifact set. I then turned in the cooking request, receiving a garlic braid as a reward. Since it was Island's birthday, and yes, I gave him a gift earlier in the day, I did take him on a gem cutting date. It felt a little wrong to take him on such a merch-coded date, but I did want to experience this new date type. But then, not even Island's birthday could keep me away from the sea. I attempted to have a beach date with Calderus, but it was the most unbeach date ever. We stayed in the deep woods, but I do think it's cute he gets his own versions of the date. His photo card looks a bit depressing for a beach photo though. After having some fun with no sun in sight, I headed on over to the beach to continue the fishing grind. I continued those efforts for the next day as well. And then on the 40th day, I finally was able to reach level 60 in fishing. Thank goodness. I don't mind fishing, but it's at least nice that you gain a level in one day practically. But that was a lot of fishing. I'm all fished out, but I wasn't tapped out enough to forget about the perk. I got the level 60 fishing perk, which is the last of the new level 60 tier perks currently available. There are only 4 out right now. This perk allows you to find new clothing and essence stones while out fishing. And then I proceeded to not even try to take advantage of that perk the next day. I went straight to the mines to get up my mining and combat levels and realized, maybe I should try to fish up something new. But I did reach the max rank at level 95, so there is that. And then, out of the goodness of my heart, after fishing day in and day out, I spent the 42nd fishing for the entire day. But there were no new clothes or essence stones to be seen. So the next day, I was back to the fishing grind, and luckily, I did come by one of the new chests, receiving a new tiara. I hope it was worth it. Well, now that I think of it, I never used the new cooking perk, and I don't remember what the blacksmith perk was, so did I really even have to show off this fishing perk? Please don't answer that. Anyway, the entire week flew by, and it was already Saturday again. Of course, I gave a gift to all the merchants and dominated the cooking competition, but then I had to restore balance to my dating pool, taking March out on a gem cutting date. I mean, like I said before, this date was made for him. On the day of the Shooting Star Festival, I decided to ask Calderus to watch the stars with me. I think I've previously gone with March. To be honest, I can't even remember exactly, but I want to give Calderus some exposure. And, I mean, he said he's my mate, so he gets priority. With the start of the fall, there's exactly 10 days until my first harvest festival, of which I have no idea still what it entails. In any case, I planted my fall crops, actually opting to plant some crops my animals can actually eat this time, and then I spent 5 days in the mines bringing up my mining and combat levels up to 60. At that point, only my woodworking skill wasn't level 60, so I crafted a bunch of higher level random items and was able to reach level 60 in woodworking as well. But there's currently no level 60 perks for these skills. Then, on the 52nd, Raina came knocking on my door, announcing that the Harvest Festival was just around the corner. For this festival, I'll be collecting queen berries. It sounds very similar to the Spring Festival that I started out this playthrough with, but I wasn't 100% sure that was correct since there was no tutorial. After a date with Reese, I headed on over to the mines to see if I could get some berries that way, since the mines never steer me wrong. And I was able to collect over 30 of them, so I think it's safe to say that it does work just like the Spring Fest. It looks like even the animals leave behind some berries. I'm not sure how many berries I'll need to win, so I hit the mines back up, collecting around 40 more. And okay, I might have gone a little too hard in collecting the berries because I got an insane amount just through harvesting all my crops. And no, it didn't stop there. I hit the mines back up, and I swear if I don't have enough to win tomorrow, I will be left with no other option but to burn the festival down. The 10th finally rolled around, bringing the Harvest Festival along with it. Raina stole my berries, but look at me, first place safely secured with one of my trusty boyfriends at my side. I was happy to see that Island was not in fact beaten by a child. Of course, after getting my rewards, I checked out Nora's stall where I bought some new food recipes and new clothing. I certainly can get used to everyone congratulating me. Luckily, they didn't know I was walking around aimlessly like a complete fool. I had read there was to be some dancing, but I was looking all around. Where do I dance? How do I dance? I don't know. I'm just here for a good time. And I kept talking to everyone, waiting for something to happen, but it doesn't quite work like that. I had to go up to one of my boyfriends. I chose March, and then I had the option to ask him to dance. And we danced the night away together, dancing through the last bit of this new update. Of course, there's still some things for me to explore with this update, but I am now at level 95. I have all the perks. All my skills are level 60. I have 8 hearts with all the main villagers. Those quests on the board have stopped appearing. Of course, I still have a lot of farmland and a house to decorate, but I feel like it's safe to say I have explored a lot, if not most, of the new content. I do think I spent around 20 hours total playing because that's how many hours of footage I have, all from Monday, the day of release, until Thursday of this week. This was a huge update, and I really enjoyed playing through it. I'm not usually a dialogue or story person when it comes to games like this, but I like all the cutscenes, and I actually didn't feel the urge to button mash my way through them like I typically feel inclined to do. I can't wait for the next update, which just might be the official release. At least I'll have some time to think about who I want to marry, because let's just say I'm more conflicted now than ever before. But with that, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below how your time with this new update has gone, and stay tuned for similar videos in the future. Subscribe if you like. Bye!